I never thought I'd be telling this story to anyone, let alone strangers on the internet. But sometimes life gives you moments so powerful, so unexpected, that staying silent feels impossible. What started as something innocent, a simple gesture of care, slowly unraveled into something deeper, something we never meant to cross into. It began on a quiet evening in our home. The kind of evening where the air itself feels heavy with unspoken thoughts. Michael, my husband, had been carrying the weight of long weeks at work. His body showed it in the way he moved, the slight slump of his shoulders, the fatigue in his eyes. I wanted to do something for him, something that would make him feel lighter, even if only for an hour. I had arranged for Claire, an old friend of mine, to come over. She was skilled in massage therapy, graceful in the way she carried herself, always calm and collected. It seemed perfect, something thoughtful for Michael, a gift that might ease his tension. At least, that's what I told myself. But if I'm being honest, there was another layer to it. One I hadn't even admitted to until the moment unfolded before me. When Michael lay down on the massage table, he thought it was just me setting the towel across his back, adjusting his posture. He trusted me completely. His eyes closed, his breathing slow. He didn't know Claire was stepping quietly into the room, her hair tied back, her movements steady. She began working on him without saying a word. Her hands moved fluidly, never crossing a line, never drifting below the towel. I sat nearby, at first simply watching. The way his body responded to her touch, it wasn't about desire, not at first. It was about release. His shoulders softened, his breathing deepened, and for the first time in weeks, I saw the tension slipping away from him. But there was something in the way his hand twitched, deliberate, not random. As though his body was beginning to sense what his mind had not yet caught up to. Claire glanced at me once, then back at him, never breaking rhythm. And then she spoke, her voice soft, almost playful. "I think I've got the technique better than you ever did," she whispered. Michael's brow lifted slightly. Not startled, but curious. That was the first shift, the moment he began to realize that this wasn't just a massage. His eyes stayed closed, but his chest rose with a different kind of breath, heavier, more deliberate. I leaned forward, my elbows on my knees, studying the quiet storm brewing in him. He didn't say a word. Neither did Claire. But the silence between the three of us wasn't empty, it was full. Full of questions, full of tension, full of something I couldn't name. When I finally moved, I crossed to the ottoman near the table. Claire's eyes flickered toward me as I sat, calm but undeniably present. Slowly, I placed my hand on Michael's arm. His eyes opened, just for a second, long enough to meet mine. And in that second, he understood. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't only about easing his muscles. Something more was unfolding, and I wasn't stepping back, I was leaning in. Claire never faltered. Her hands moved with the same calm certainty, as if she had been expecting this moment too. Michael breathed deeper, his body caught between trust and curiosity. His gaze searched mine for an answer, and I gave it to him softly, leaning close. "I didn't bring her here for me, love," I whispered. "She's here because I wanted this for you." His throat worked as he swallowed. His eyes softened, then closed again. He nodded. Just once. From there, time seemed to blur. Claire leaned close, whispering something in his ear that I couldn't hear, and it didn't matter. His body answered for him. He didn't resist. He didn't question. His chest rose steadily, as if surrendering to a current he could no longer fight. I kissed his cheek gently, grounding him, reminding him that I was still there. His hand found mine, curling around it, strong but steady. He wasn't confused anymore, just present. The room was quiet except for the faint creak of the table beneath his shifting weight. Claire moved with practiced ease, her presence constant, her energy focused entirely on him. Michael breathed through it, his body both tense and released, like he was walking a line between two worlds, familiar love and something entirely new. I studied him closely. The flicker of uncertainty, the way he tilted his head back, the softness in his eyes when they opened again to find mine, it all told me more than words ever could. This wasn't just about desire. It was about trust. It was about letting go. When Claire's hands finally slowed, she rested them gently over his, bringing the rhythm back to calm. Michael exhaled deeply, his chest rising and falling with a steady peace I hadn't seen in him for so long. I leaned in and kissed his temple. "Just breathe," I whispered. And he did. For a long while, none of us moved. The moment hung in the air, delicate, unspoken, but undeniable. He didn't pull away. He didn't question. He simply let himself feel safe, grounded, alive. And sitting there, holding his hand, watching the way he trusted me even in the middle of this unfamiliar moment, I realized something too. Sometimes, what begins as an attempt to help someone you love becomes something far more complicated. Something you can't define. So now I wonder, what do you think was going through Michael's mind in that moment? Was it confusion? Relief? Desire? Or something deeper? I read every single comment, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you haven't already, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell, because the next story I share might just surprise you even more.